Screen Team is back, and we are getting ready to review a movie called Fargo. And this is a movie that came out in the mid-1990s. It's, I've said this before on this show many, many times. People love the Coen brothers. I'm not one of them.
I love the Coen brothers.
See? He loves the Coen brothers. There's only one movie that I've seen from the Coen brothers that I saw and absolutely fell in love with the first time I saw it. It was
Raising Arizona.
No.
Oh.
You want to take another guess? Because the name is escaping me right now.
Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou? That wouldn't be it, no.
No, it was the one where Javier Bardem won. No Country for Old Men was my all-time favorite Coen brothers film. Everything else, I'm just kind of like, it was okay. But cinema lovers really, really enjoy the Coen brothers. I think a lot for their cinematography and direction, but also more so, I think, their scripts.
And that's the exact reason why I like Fargo.
Because of the script, because you love the writing.
It's the script, and it's the way that the script has created these really interesting, dynamic, and real characters.
Okay.
All right? So I love how the opening scenes set up what you think is going to be some sort of a mystery of who killed the cop. So, after all the arrangements are made with the Jerry Lundegaard character, played by William H. Macy, he's arranging for these two thugs to steal a car, basically. And they're driving back to Minnesota with this car and encounter some trouble. They get pulled over by a cop. And one thing leads to another, and they shoot this cop. And as one of the guys is dragging the dead cop's body off the road, these two innocent passerby, they're just driving along. They happen to be on the road at the wrong time. And they see what's going on. Another one of the thugs whips around and chases them down and kills them. And that's about the first 20 minutes of the movie.
Right.
And you think, okay, now I've seen all of this. And then we're introduced to the local sheriff, who's played marvelously
by Frances
McDormand.
Right.
Yes. And we think, okay, so she's on the scene of the accident, so we're going to be uncovering this mystery. That's what this movie is going to be about. But basically her first words are, okay, so we had a cop pull over a car here.
Right.
Cop was shot. Probably had some people right here passing by, witness it, and this guy turns around and shoots him down there. Wait, so where does the script go now? What you thought was going to be the story is now solved. And so we begin to follow this woman, Frances McDormand's sheriff character, who's for no reason pregnant. That does not feed anything into this script other than developing her character as a unique, not typical kind of character.
Sure.
It just adds complexity to who she is. The fact that she has such a tender, loving relationship with her husband doesn't need to be there. It's just adding such rich complexity to her character. She's such a delight to get to know.
So we're adding layers to this film.
Exactly. It's not an adventure movie, it's not an action movie. It's a movie that you need to just kind of kick back and let it take you on its journey. Now, it is at times a little gruesome,
Let me ask you something. You said it's gruesome. It's very dark. It can be violent. Is it funny?
Absolutely, it's funny. I don't think it's funny for the same reasons that some people want to laugh at it. I'm laughing with it. I know some people have a big problem with the ridiculousness of the accents.
Sure.
They want to
Oh,
make...
geez.
Exactly.
Oh, Marge.
Exactly. And I like to think that is a true glimpse of one aspect of these wonderful United States. There are people who actually live in that kind of tundra, who speak that way, who have those kinds of mannerisms, and I think that, and I've been in Minnesota a time or two. I have friends who have lived in Minnesota. I know that kind of local color is there.
Sure.
And this movie just happens to be set at that location, and I think they've captured that really nicely.
So, what is the humor that you like in it? If not for the accents and the silliness of that, what is it that you find funny in this movie?
Okay. I find funny the buffoonery of the two thugs.
Right.
Okay. They are totally inept, especially the one played by Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
He's...
And two totally different characters. One who just can't stop talking, and the other one who says maybe two words.
Yeah. If that guy got paid $1 million for that role, then he got paid $500,000 per word. You know? Yeah. And... yeah, Steve Buscemi's character is comic, and I think just some of the situations that you see William H. Macy's character, Jerry Lundegaard, in are just ridiculous. He's a buffoon, too. He thinks he's so sly. He thinks he's going to be stealing all of this money from GMAC Financing or wherever. Yeah. He doesn't have anything up on anybody. He thinks he's orchestrating this big heist of sorts. He thinks he can work his father-in-law, who owns the car dealership where he works, and get money out of him. No, everybody's got his number. The sheriff, I forget the sheriff's name for some reason. Marge Gunderson, she has 2 scenes with William H. Macy, both in his office, and she just reads him like a book.
Right.
The script is so witty and so... there's such attention to the detail of dialogue and how people are interacting with one another. To watch Jerry Lundegaard, you've got no reason to be. I didn't do anything. All of these pauses and all of these hesitations in his voice are scripted.
That's right, they were.
They were all scripted. The Coen brothers knew exactly what they wanted from this character, and they got it. William H. Macy does a great job, and. The sheriff, she's like, chill out, buddy. You've got no reason to be snippy with me. Yeah. And I'm just here doing my job. Another great scene that shows a little bit of sadness in its comedy is that really awkward scene where she's having dinner at the Radisson.
With the old boyfriend or old schoolmate?
Schoolmate, yeah. And he thinks he's... got this relationship where I don't know what he thinks. Maybe he's going to score with her. I don't know. But he is such a sad character. And now that scene doesn't even need to be in the movie except to develop the character of Marge a little bit more.
Sure.
She sees what's going on. She handles it very adeptly, very politely, but very assertively. Yeah. She's a really smart woman. And you don't see the smartness because... all of this local color of her accent, and she's up in, nowhere, Minnesota. But she's a sharp woman. These characters, they're either really good and sharp, or they're just stupid. I mean, some stupid characters in this. It's just, I think it's a delight to watch.
Yeah. It got nominated for Best Picture. Didn't win Best Picture, but Frances McDormand did win Best Actress for her performance in this film. So
well deserved.
The movie's called Fargo, and you can find it on DVD. Steve, thank you for being on the show, brother. I appreciate you.
My pleasure.
We'll be back with another Screen Team next Saturday at 6 p.m. And remember, we want you to know before you go.